Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's your boy, Airboy, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Bionicle Barraki Ehlek. Now, a quick little disclaimer before we get into the review. I do have the full team of 6 Barraki. I'm going to take a look at each one of them individually, and then I will do a video with all of them, giving my general thoughts about the whole group. And I will also give the reasons why they're each getting their own reviews instead of being reviewed as a whole right now. So, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyway, let's take a look at Ehlek. He was released in 2007. The set number is 8920, and the total number of pieces used for the build is around 54 parts. Now, Ehlek, like all the Barraki, is based on an ocean animal for his design. And this is kind of stupid, but I don't remember where I heard it from. It might have been someone from Lego or some other reviewer. I don't know, but as far as I know, in canon, Lego refers to this guy as the eel. Now, I'm no Steve Irwin, but I know a thing or two about animals. And last time I checked, eels do not have short, round bodies and are covered in spikes. Last time I checked, eels have long, slender, snake-like bodies. This does not look like a damn fish that has a long, slender, snake-like body. This, to me, looks more like a sea urchin. Like, story-wise, the only thing, as far as I know, the only thing this guy has in common with a freaking eel is that he can generate electricity from his spines like an electric eel, and he commands an army of eels. He doesn't look like a goddamn eel. Now, granted, I'll cut him a little slack, because I imagine trying to make a snake-like body for a Bionicle set and expecting it to sell, that might be a little tricky. But come on, if you wanted this to look like an eel, you could put in a little more effort to make it look like an eel. So, as much as it might piss some of you Bionicle loyalists off, if I'm going to refer to Ehlek by his animal type, I'm going to refer to him as a sea urchin, because he, to me, looks like a sea urchin. He has spikes. They are diddly, like a sea urchin. Now, granted, sea urchins use poison instead of electricity, but let's be honest. Being poisoned by a sea urchin spike would wield the exact same results as being electrocuted underwater. You're probably going to die. Now, I got that little rant out of the way. Let's take a look at Ehlek. As you can see, he is a sea urchin-based animal. Nothing you say will make me change my mind. He's got short legs, but really long arms, and you can see, he's a very decent build. He's a very nice little Lego figure. Get him up here, nice and close to the camera to get a better look at his details. First, I'm going to go over a couple things I like and don't like about the set. Things I don't like about the set. The first thing I don't like is, he doesn't... I believe his weapons are meant to be a part of him. If that's the case, they really should have been a shade of green instead of silver. Again, I could be wrong. I don't quite remember, but if that is the case, I think they should have been a shade of green instead of silver. Another thing I don't like, the red and gray pins that are used on his body kind of break up the color scheme, as well as these blue pins under here, but you can't really see them as badly. And one can make an argument that, you know, the blue eyes kind of help detract from that, poor choice of words here. One could argue that the blue eyes help with the blue pins, but not really. But it doesn't matter, because you're not going to have him displayed with him looking up like that. However, the red and gray pins are a little obnoxious. Would have been better if they used black. But, you know, no biggie. Another issue that I have with the set that most people do is the lack of armor pieces. That's actually something that's part of the story, I believe. He doesn't like to wear armor or something. Again, it's been a while since I looked over the 2007 story, mainly because I didn't care for the 2007 story. However, I do love the Barraki. So, the Barraki are the one thing from that year I do enjoy. Another thing people might not like about the set are his proportions are a little weird, because he's kind of hunched over, he's got long ass arms, short legs. And really the last thing I don't think people would like is that he is a little gappy in some areas, particularly here on his body. But yeah, as far as I know, that's really the main complaints most people had with the figure, and really the only ones I had with the figure. Now let's talk about the positives about the figure. The positives, despite the few things breaking it up, he does have a very consistent color scheme, consisting mostly of greens, as he is meant to be the green bad guy of this year, or of the 2007. Another thing people might like are the parts you get. I know a lot of people like these long blade pieces. I know I certainly like those long blade pieces. A lot of people like these big feet pieces, perfect for making larger mocks. And I know a lot of people like these new spine pieces. I don't know if they're new to this set, but I do know the color they're in is definitely new to this set. Those can make a very impressive animal or mock of some kind. Another thing people might like about the set is the amount of detail. Granted, there isn't much detail there that's new to Bionicle at the time. However, there is a little bit, and it does look pretty good. Another positive about the set people might like are his gimmicks, of which he has two. His jaws are a gimmick. Put two fingers on the side here, you push them, makes it look like he's opening and closing his jaws, and that is a feature that every Barraki has. All the Barrakis have the same gimmick. The second gimmick that every Barraki has is the squid launcher. Now, the way that works is you take one of these two little squids here, you take the launcher, and you take the squid, you make sure the eyes are facing horizontally, you put it in there, and the idea is that you pull the tail back, and it shoots. Unfortunately, that's also one of the biggest flaws for all the Barraki that they all share. The squid launchers do not work that well, if at all. I know I can certainly never get the damn thing to work. Again, the general idea is you put the squid head in there, pull back on the tail, and it's supposed to launch, but again, it doesn't work very well. This is easily the worst launcher Bionicle has made for their sets. It's made of a soft rubber, and if you pull on the tail on this thing too many times, it could snap over time. So again, I don't like the blasters, but they are part of the set, so I have to kind of mention it for this review. One more little negative about the set I kind of forgot to mention. The spikes, it could be just a case of your mileage may vary depending on the set, but on mine, the spikes do like to pull off the pins a little bit by themselves. I find myself consistently having to push them back down. And another problem that people have with the set, I'm finding more negatives than positive about this set. I am so sorry. But it's something I have to mention. Apparently, during that year, there was an issue producing the lime green pieces. I don't know if it was a heating or a cooling situation, but excessive use of these parts can cause them to crack. Now, I got lucky. There doesn't seem to be a single crack on the lime green parts of my Ehlek, but most people aren't as lucky, so that's a thing I gotta mention. Now, despite the numerous flaws that I pointed out in this figure, the few good things I pointed out do heavily outweigh the flaws. He's a very, very unique figure compared to most Bionicle figures that came out beforehand that are the same general size. He is very unique. He has a design that's uniquely his, and he stands out because of it. Is it perfect? No, but it is a great overall design. It really captures the sea urchin feel of this figure, and I think he is really, really great. I do love him. He's not my favorite member of the Barraki, but he isn't my least favorite either. That review is coming up next. Oh, I just noticed there is a little crack on one of the joints here. You can see it, kind of see it right there. I don't know how well you can see that, but there is a little crack right there. So yeah, despite the few issues that I, as well as most people, have with this set, it is still a very good, very unique set. Now, comparisons. I'm not going to do all the Barraki right now. I'll get to that point when I do the all of them together video, but I will do a few comparisons. Here he is with Arashi from 2003, I believe. Yeah, it was 2003. Here he is with Barraki from 2003. Oh, crap. That wasn't supposed to happen. Just so you can get a sense of how big he is compared to some of the older sets. If I can get the damn thing to stand. There we go. Here he is with the green villain from the year prior, the Paraka leader, Zaktan. See how he looks next to Ehlek. As you can see, Ehlek has a lighter color scheme. Now, granted, he does share some of the dark green that Zaktan has, but the majority of Ehlek's color scheme are a lighter shade of green. And just so you know how he compares to one of the more recent Bionicle sets, if you can even call it recent, here he is next to the Toalua from 2015. And just because I have him sitting here, here he is next to the Transformers Earthrise Optimus Prime. And yeah, I think that pretty much does it for Ehlek. Now, as the set stands, let me get him standing up straight. Now, as this guy stands straight and as high as I can get him to, he is approximately 8 inches tall, I think. However, most people will have him kind of hunched over or on all fours like this. So that's debatable. But yeah, standing him up straight on two legs, he stands about 8 inches. And at the time of release, he was going for about $10. These days, however, he's going for about $15 to $20, depending on where you look. Now, is he worth that price, and do I think he's worth picking up? Despite the fact that the number of flaws I've mentioned do kind of outnumber the number of good positives, I do feel that the positives, considering what they are, do outweigh the flaws. And I do highly recommend finding this guy if you can find him. He is a very unique figure. No other official Bionicle figure shares his design. He is unique in that way. He has a beautiful green color scheme. He's got gimmicks, whether or not they're good are debatable. He's got some pretty cool pieces, so if you're a mockist, you'll get some very decent weapons and parts out of them. And yeah, I would highly recommend this guy if you can find him. Now, this has been the LEGO Bionicle Barraki Ehlek. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, leave a nice comment, enjoy the rest of your day, and join me next time when I'll be going over another one of the Barraki, Mantax. Or maybe I'll do Takodox. I don't know. It'll either be Mantax or Takodox. And until then, I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye.